Hello everyone and welcome to the live stream. I hope that you're all doing good tonight. We're going to be hanging out for a couple of hours. I have a bunch of different topics that I want to talk about. Tonight we're going to be talking about, boy oh boy, lots of drama, okay? Listen, I usually try to pick topics that are like, okay, maybe one or two are like controversial drama, people going after each other, people going after a product, and then I try to talk about situations like Blizzard and lawsuits and in industry situations. But a lot of the topics tonight are people going after each other, people going after products. Tonight we're going to be talking about Ghostbusters 2016. And how Melissa McCarthy is baffled why moviegoers think reboots and relaunches are wrong. Now, listen. If we were talking about a reboot or a relaunch that maybe was like a sliver of good, I would be like, okay, it's a fair question to ask. But we're talking about an actress that was in one of the worst reboot relaunches of a franchise. Okay, Ghostbusters 2016 was just not good. In my opinion, there wasn't a lot of saving to that movie, and I want to talk about her statement and why she's confused as to, oh no, why don't people like these reboots? Well, people didn't like your reboot because it was absolute garbage. I want to talk about a Star Trek Discovery actor, Wilson Cruz, claiming that Dave Chappelle's comedy special is responsible for violence. Now, I've put up a video already on the whole Dave Chappelle situation, and I've talked a little bit about the Dave Chappelle situation over the past couple of days, but we've got actors going after Dave Chappelle, claiming absolutely ridiculous things like this, basically saying, oh, this comedy special that he made, these, yes, to some people, offensive jokes are causing violence. He should be held responsible for violence now. I want to talk about DC confirming that, as it says, John Kent finds his identity in Superman, son of Kal-El, and he will officially be gay in the comic books. But I don't want to talk about just that. I also want to talk about Dean Cain. Because Dean Cain came out today in an interview and is slamming Superman coming out as bisexual, saying it isn't bold or brave, okay? It's 2021. Anyone can be the type of person they want to be. And maybe if DC had done this 20 years ago, he would have felt differently. Maybe it would be viewed differently and they would be viewed as this brave and bold and stunning company. But it's 2021, and a lot of characters are being changed around, as it says the new Captain America is gay, Supergirl, you've got gay characters, and he's basically saying that it's not a bold new direction, and he thinks they're bandwagoning, which is something a lot of people have said for a very long time. And I also want to talk about probably the topic I'm going to cover in tomorrow's video, about how journalists are very angry with Far Cry 6. Now, we knew that journalists were going to be mad at Far Cry 6 because it didn't push enough of a political opinion, okay? They didn't make enough political statements in this game for these game journalists. And now, they're basically finding anything they can to attack this game. And now, they're attacking Far Cry 6's cockfighting minigame, saying it's gross and we should care more about it. Yet half of this article is complaining that the game doesn't push the politics they want. So those are the topics we're going to be discussing tonight. Welcome everyone. Hope your evening's going well. We'll get started in just a minute with the first topic. Listen, guys, it's been a doozy of a past 2 days, apparently. We've got people attacking Dave Chappelle, which isn't that surprising. Should it be happening? No. We've got Dean Cain coming out, slamming Superman in DC. We've got journalists attacking Far Cry 6 about literally everything they can. It's gonna be an interesting night. What's this? Oh, I have an anime up as another tab. Whoops. Welcome, everyone, though. Hope your night's going well. I'll get into the topics in just a minute, but how are you all doing? How's it going, everyone? Hello, Triple T. I couldn't care less what Dean Cain thinks about anything. He's 25 years plus post-relevant. Well, I mean, that's your opinion if you don't care about what he says. I mean, it is what it is. I kind of care what he says because he knows the character. He knew, you know, what DC was all about. And I always think it's interesting to see previous actors make statements and kind of give their thoughts on current day situations with franchises they're part of. I definitely think that it's interesting. Even if it's not like revolutionary and they're not saying things that we don't already know. I just think that usually it's like, I think it's interesting to see happen. Why does my lighting look weird? I guess maybe it doesn't look weird. I don't know, guys. I think it's the hair. Guys, my hair color really throws off the lighting. I'm gonna be honest. You guys don't know how long I have to sit here and fight with lighting because of this hair. I'm thinking Attila. Alright, I'm thinking short, half shaved. You know, I mean, I'd fit in with the crowd, right? I mean, being an SJW, that's the end goal, isn't it? I could be the ultimate Karen. Aren't you guys ready? It's a game, fiction, a fantasy. No, to everyone that doesn't like products. No, it's not just a game. When they like a game, and they like the narrative it pushes, then they say it's just a game. But when they don't like it, no, it's not just a game. Like the Dave Chappelle situation, it's not just comedy, okay? It's more than that. It's bigger than you could expect. It's bullshit, but that's okay. Tila, listen, guys, I know you're ready. Okay, see, look at this chat. You guys are already ready. You're ready to get your credit cards out, ready to be a Tila simp, okay? I know you guys are ready. To be an SJW, though, that would mean I wouldn't have to have morals. I do have a couple of those, so I don't know about that. Yeah, see, Karen mode activated, Tila. I mean, you guys are ready. Hey, good evening. Welcome to the stream. Hope your night's going well. I used 20 emojis in 5 messages. Well, I mean, at least you're using emojis. As long as it's not spam, it's all good. The gamer isn't gaming tonight. No, I'm not gaming tonight, guys. Listen, I know. I'm a fake gamer girl. All of my gameplay pre-recorded. Recorded 5 years ago. Even the brand new games, okay? Recorded by a guy in his basement. I'm a fake gamer girl. No gaming tonight, but tomorrow evening at 8 p.m. Eastern, I'll be streaming Alan Wake. I'll be finishing Alan Wake. That was the first Halloween game on the roster, and guys, probably tomorrow or the next day, I'll be announcing the rest of the Halloween games that are in order, but we've got a lot of different Halloween games lined up. Maybe some Outlast, The Evil Within, maybe some Fatal Frame 1, maybe some Gungrave, coming to a YouTube screen near you. Your gaming is pre-recorded? Are you one of the bully hunters? I'm restarting the bully hunters, okay? I'm gonna be the biggest bully hunter there is. I'm gonna set up a phone line, like Feminist Frequency, for people to call. I just got bullied on Xbox Live. I'm gonna do it. Okay, maybe not. But I mean, who knows? Maybe one day I'll be invited to the next Bully Hunters. Probably not. If I dye my hair blue, though, guys, I'm in. I have an express easy pass into the SJW lane if I dye my hair blue. I mean, it's only a matter of time. Are you planning to watch Halloween Kills? Yeah, I will see Halloween Kills. Maybe not on launch day, but I'm gonna see it very soon. I like the Halloween franchise. I know a lot of people are like, it's gotten a little stale, it's gotten a little bland, boring. I personally still like it. I'm a fan. So yeah, I just know it's like a lot of people are like, okay, well, you know, you could be done now. I think it's cool. Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. The thing with Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines is it's long. Not a bad game, though. Alan Wake has turned out to be a very fun game to watch. Yeah, I think that it's been a pretty good game for you guys to watch. That's why I'm thinking something similar to play along the lines of like an Evil Within, maybe. I know Evil Within's a little bit longer as well, but that's okay. We'll see, though. In the next couple days, I'll be announcing the rest of my Halloween games, but obviously, there's going to be a lot of them. We've already started Alan Wake, but I will be finishing it tomorrow. I want to know what's the natural color of your hair. You're looking at it. What? This is my natural hair color. What are you talking about? I'll simp for Evelyn. Man, Lena Headey. I mean, shrimps be shrimpin', right? Alright, you guys. So, oh, here comes the comments. Here comes the hair color comments. Alright, guys. So why don't we get started with the first topic of the evening? This is going to be a relatively quick topic, but I still wanted to talk about it because Melissa McCarthy, there's a lot of people that like Melissa McCarthy, okay? And if you like her, good for you. You go, girl. Power to you. Okay? Fight the patriarchy. Smash them. But for me, I'm just not a fan of Melissa McCarthy, okay? I think she's a mediocre actress. I don't think that she provides a lot in the entertainment scene. I think that she's a little bit overrated. That's just my opinion. If you feel differently, that's okay. But Ghostbusters 2016 was an absolutely fucking trash fire movie, and no one's gonna convince me otherwise, okay? Ghostbusters has so much potential. And that movie had so much potential, yet it just didn't turn out good. I don't hate the idea of having like a Ghostbusters squad that are all females or that have females in it. I don't mind that. But the way that Ghostbusters 2016 was set up just wasn't a good film. But Melissa McCarthy decided to come out and say she was baffled why moviegoers think reboots and relaunches are wrong. Now, I personally, I don't hate reboots and relaunches, but for me, I would rather see new, unique content. I'd rather see maybe sequel series or spin-off series. Maybe we could see the original cast of a movie, but with like 1 or 2 new members. It's kind of like in the relaunch realm, but sort of kind of not really. But she doesn't understand why people don't like things like Ghostbusters 2016. And it's pretty obvious why. It's because the content is bad most of the time. Okay? Executives in Hollywood see these amazing franchises that have made a ton of money or super popular franchises, and they want to milk it for all it's worth. And that's why they create reboots and relaunches. But it says, Melissa McCarthy recently revealed that she's baffled that moviegoers think reboots and relaunches are wrong. I personally, again, don't really like them most of the time. I'm not saying that all of the reboots and relaunches that have happened over the years have been terrible, because they definitely haven't been. But have they all been good? Not even close. So it says, while promoting her upcoming film, The Starling, I hadn't heard about it, do not know what this movie is. It's got Kevin Kline in it, so that's good. It just doesn't sound like that good of a movie. I'm just gonna, I mean, maybe it'll be... Wow. Usually, we see stuff like this. I was expecting this to get a great critic rating, by the way. I was expecting a 90-95 critic. 73 audience, though. Okay. Maybe it'll be great. McCarthy did an interview with Yahoo Entertainment where she was asked about her thoughts on the Ghostbusters 2016 film. No one can let go of Ghostbusters 2016, and I truly don't understand why. Why can no one let go of Ghostbusters 2016? I don't understand. It says, she was asked, how do you look back at Ghostbusters 2016, 5 years later, now with that perspective? Do you share many fans' viewpoints that it was underrated? Oh, brother. Oh, don't you share fans' viewpoints that it was underrated? I mean, guys, that was just not a good movie. It was not good. What do you mean fans thought it was underrated? Okay. She responded stating there's no end to stories we can tell, and there's so many reboots and relaunches and different interpretations, and to say any of them are wrong, I just don't get it. People are allowed to say they don't like a product. People are allowed to say, I think that the direction you went in with this franchise is really shitty. Is it that surprising to hear? No. It says, I don't get the fight, to see who can be most negative and most hate-filled. Hello, advertisement? Can you get off of the words I was just reading? Thank you. Where was it? Oh yeah, everybody should be able to tell the story they want to tell. If you don't want to see it, you don't have to see it. Now, this is true. If you don't want to see something, you don't have to see something. But we're talking about a movie that happened, in this context, we're talking about Ghostbusters, that happened 5 years ago, okay? If you wanted to see it, you've probably already seen it, and if you didn't want to see it, you probably haven't already seen it. This was a movie that they were hyping up to be like the ultimate reboot. They were saying how it was going to stay true to the original. They were going to make it great. And then when it came out, we started hearing about, oh, it changes this and it changes that and it does this differently and it fights these narratives and it promotes other narratives. It says it doesn't appear that anyone is stopping anyone from making reboots and relaunches in Hollywood as film studios constantly churn them out. And it's true. As it says, you know, Babylon 5, Flight of the Navigator, we see reboots and relaunches all the time because it makes money. It's like when we talk about things like Superman, okay? There's a lot of Superman movies at this point. There's a lot of Superman content. And when they take a character like Superman and do things like, you know, change love interests, change his sexuality, change details about him. A lot of us ask, why couldn't you just pick a different character or create a different character? And they don't because of names, okay? If you heard the name Ghostbusters in this case, of course you're going to be interested if you're a Ghostbusters fan. But if you heard this other random name or a title for a movie that was about 4 women fighting ghosts, okay? And it didn't have Ghostbusters, we'd all go, it's a Ghostbusters knockoff, and we're not gonna watch it. So of course they're gonna go for the things that people automatically know in their brain because they know it's gonna make them more money. There's like Ghostbusters fans that are always gonna see Ghostbusters content, are gonna go to see every single movie, even if it's completely different and bad. All these Hollywood executives care about is money, and I understand they're running businesses, they're trying to stay on top of the industry, but at the same time, as a consumer, it wears you out, and it makes you not want to support all these relaunches and reboots. It says, and clearly there are plenty of reasons why a reboot or relaunch can be viewed as wrong. One of the biggest reasons is if it was rebooted or remade, it could be altered to push an evil ideology. I think that is one of the main reasons why a lot of people do not like reboots and relaunches, because companies, individuals can take it and twist it to mean whatever they want and push whatever narratives they want. I mean, it's happened a lot. I'm not saying that you can't successfully relaunch or reboot something, because you can. But then you get situations like Ghostbusters. Okay, guys, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Z's and Zers. Okay, we get movies like this that are just not good. It says another is the fact that the story has already been told. If there are so many stories to tell as McCarthy claims, then why do you need to reboot or remake? The most obvious answer is corporate greed and the idea of making a quick and easy buck. And again, it's true. Although it's unclear how effective that idea really is now, with Ghostbusters 2016 being a prime example. Companies take these franchises, think it's going to make them a ton of money, they wokeify it, and then it doesn't make them as much money as they anticipated. It says, as for McCarthy's comments about not seeing the film, clearly moviegoers did that with Ghostbusters 2016. It only grossed $128 million at the domestic box office and a worldwide gross of $229 million. It had a reported production budget of $144 million, meaning the film lost a lot of money. Movies typically need to earn 2.5 times their production budget in order to begin to be profitable. In Ghostbusters 2016, it would have needed to earn $360 million, and it clearly fell short by around $131 million. It says, not only did people not watch Ghostbusters 2016, but they also didn't go to see McCarthy's The Kitchen. The numbers reported the film had a production budget of $38 million, but it only grossed $12 million at the domestic box office, which led to a worldwide gross of a measly $15 million. This is a problem. Okay, when you've got actors running around, you've got them attacking individuals, attacking fans, saying if you don't like it, don't watch it, being in bad products, people are eventually going to say, okay, you know what, I'm going to take your advice, and I'm not going to go see your shitty movie. And that's what's happened with a lot of her movies, with Ghostbusters 2016 specifically, of course. And isn't that surprising to hear? No. It says maybe the most ironic thing is McCarthy shows her own disdain for critics of soulless corporate reboots and remakes that are pushing evil ideologies like feminism by describing them as a negative and hate-filled. I hate when actors do this. If it doesn't represent their opinions, then they call it evil and say it pushes all these hate-filled, toxic, awful things. You don't have to agree with everything in life, and you're not going to agree with everything in life, okay? It's fine if someone puts out a movie that has a stance that's different from yours. As she said, if you don't like it, don't watch it. Someone else is gonna watch it, and someone else is gonna enjoy it. But that's all that I really had to talk about with this topic. You know, we live in a clown world. We live in a society, right, guys? Ghostbusters 2016 was a very bad movie. Melissa McCarthy, not a good actress. At least in my opinion. And it's hilarious to hear her go, why do moviegoers hate reboots and relaunches? Because they could be so good. Well, because, you know, unfortunately, we see the content that comes out of Hollywood now. I don't like any of the content that comes out of Hollywood now. Like, 90% of it is absolute garbage. But that's all that I had to talk about with that. Next, we're going to talk about Star Trek Discovery and Wilson Cruz claiming Dave Chappelle's comedy special is responsible for violence, which is, listen, which is the dumbest fucking thing, okay? I feel like I've got 4 brain cells left, right, guys? And this just logic like this makes me want to lose one. I'm holding on to it with the very tips of my fingers, okay? Because now, offensive jokes, guys, those lead to violence, apparently. It's like, ooh, video games? You just shot a pig in Minecraft with a bow? You, okay, are going to fucking jail. You are a bad person. How could you murder an animal like that? I mean, I still have not yet seen Ghostbusters 2016. Read the synopsis on Google. You literally would be saving yourself a lot of time. You really would. Star Trek Discovery. Ooh, everyone's favorite show. Guys, I know. Alright, I know you love Star Trek Discovery. I mean, this is the best piece of Hollywood entertainment that's come out in 50 years, right, guys? I know Star Trek Discovery, you love it, okay? Maybe the next season of Discovery, they'll add in everyone's 2 favorite actresses, Brie Larson and Amber Heard. Okay, if they did that, whew, I mean, those numbers would be bigger than Squid Games. Listen, my sarcasm tonight, it's through the roof. Is it worth watching for the lulz? Ghostbusters 2016? I feel like the problem with Ghostbusters 2016, and it's not even a movie that has a lot of laugh out loud moments. It's just like, why did you do that? Or why would they do that? It's not one of the movies that is so bad it's funny. It's just bad. At least in my opinion. Star Trek, I haven't watched that since the 80s. Oof, that's rough. Listen, I wasn't even alive in the 80s. Okay, and I've watched Star Trek. The Star Trek Discovery, that's not it. It's not it. Just like Lower Decks, no thanks. It's the gift that keeps on giving. Apparently it is. Couldn't go through a stream without mentioning Amber. I couldn't. I'm sorry, guys. She's just amazing. Right? I mean, I know everyone here loves Amber Heard and also Brie Larson. I mean, they'd be the best dynamic duo. I mean, come on. Discovery is so bad I can't even think of the right adjective. Discovery is very bad. It is actually very bad. At first, I was watching Discovery, and I was like, oh, this isn't too bad. I genuinely, at first, didn't think that it was that awful. And then you just keep watching, and the episodes keep going, and then you're like, oh boy, that's not good. Oh no, that other thing isn't good. And it's just that everything just stacks on top of each other. It's like, it has layers like an ogre onion, okay? It's just got these layers. And it's like you think you're finally at the center of the Tootsie Pop, and it just gets worse, and there's another layer. Picard also, it kind of was that way. I felt like Picard at first also wasn't that bad. And then it just kept going, and it was like, okay, this is just very mediocre. John Luck Pickard, ladies and gentlemen. Hide your fingers? Yeah, I know. If Amber Heard's coming to town, hide your fingers. Don't have any vases in their room. I mean, jeez. Conflating words with violence, that's so 2016. Hey, 2016! Wow, so much good stuff happened in 2016, guys. That was the year of the champs, huh? What do you think is worse? Ooh, Discovery, Picard, or Lower Decks? It wouldn't be Picard. I think the thing is that... Oh, you deleted the message. Anyway, I think the thing with Discovery is that it tries to be serious, and it's just not good, but with Lower Decks, it literally fucking shits on Star Trek. It's supposed to be comedy. Wasn't that good. It's not comedy. Kurtzman and Goldman destroyed Trek. Yeah, a lot of people think that Kurtzman destroyed Trek. It's a three-way tie for awful. All of them are bad. Actually true. Very true. 2016 had its problems, but it's better than 2020 and 2021. Ooh. You know, the thing is here is that that's unfair. Because we're talking about 1 year versus 2 years. And clearly with the 2 years, you have to go with 2020 and 2021. Because that's 2 very bad years jammed into one. What else? We'll move into this topic in just a minute. 2016 movie releases. What came out in 2016? Besides our loving, amazing, fantastic movie Ghostbusters. A Batman vs Superman. I actually didn't hate Batman vs Superman. I actually really didn't. I didn't hate it. 10 Cloverfield Lane. Okay. What the fuck is Fallen? No clue. Girl on the Train. I'm getting off the train. Assassin's Creed. That was absolute garbage. Huntsman Winter's End. That was absolute garbage. Civil War. I do not have a fuck to give. Rogue One. Hot take. I've talked about this before, guys. I actually didn't think that Rogue One was bad. Listen. Just hear me out. Just hear me out, okay? Rogue One, I really like the actor choices. I felt like the actors just were very good. Visually, it looked good. The story wasn't bad. I didn't think it was awful. Warcraft, trash. Fantastic Beasts, hashtag boycott Warner Brothers, right? Civil War again, okay. X-Men Apocalypse. Suicide Squad 2016. Ugh. Now we're getting into the bad ones, huh? Hacksaw Ridge was very good. Okay. I guess that's it. Deadpool was very good. Doctor Strange. Oh, Doctor Strange was a jammer. And then we just gotta end it with Ghostbusters. Am I right, guys? Everyone's favorite movie. Okay. Rogue One space battles were awesome. Yeah, I don't actually think that Rogue One was... I don't think that Rogue One was awful. Just my take. I didn't hate Batman vs. Superman either. Yeah, I didn't really hate it. Alright, you guys. Let's move on to the next topic really quickly. Before we do, if you're enjoying the live stream, give it a like. If you're not, give it a dislike. Consider donating via Streamlabs. Under $15 is a special Halloween donation notification, and over $15 is a special Halloween donation notification. Consider becoming a member of the channel. You get access to special emotes. You get a badge next to your name, a join message, all that fun stuff. But mainly like the stream. Thanks for being here. Let's get into the next topic. Star Trek Discovery, everyone's favorite show. It could be better with Amber Heard and Brie Larson, but it's no surprise to hear that there are more and more actors coming out attacking Dave Chappelle. I've talked about the Dave Chappelle situation in another video. I've talked about it a little bit over the past few days, and we've seen a lot of individuals dogpile onto Dave Chappelle and try to get him canceled. There's a lot of people basically saying, oh, Netflix should not work with Dave Chappelle anymore. Netflix should remove Dave Chappelle's specials from their platform. They shouldn't promote them at all whatsoever. But we see another larger actor coming forward attacking Dave Chappelle, saying that Star Trek Discovery actor Wilson Cruz claims Dave Chappelle comedy special is responsible for violence. Now, when it comes to Dave Chappelle's comedy special, The Closer, it's definitely not for everyone. But to say it's causing violence, that's not quite a good statement to make. I mean, that's something big to claim right there. That's not just like a little statement like you hate Dave Chappelle. So it says Star Trek Discovery actor Wilson Cruz recently claimed that the latest Dave Chappelle comedy special on Netflix, The Closer, is responsible for violence. Cruz, who plays Dr. Hugh Culber on Discovery, took to Twitter where he reacted to an article from The Hollywood Reporter. Replaceable character. He wrote, "Is this how you're celebrating hashtag National Coming Out Day at We Are Netflix? Celebrating the violence your content is responsible for and canceling your hashtag trans employee for speaking her truth and standing up for our community?" First of all, calm down on the hashtags and the tags, okay? You're trying to be trendy. He's like, hashtag National Coming Out Day, hashtag trans, hashtag Netflix. We get it. You really want your content to be put in the search algorithm so you can be relevant because you're an actor on a show like Discovery and you've only got 200 likes on your post. It says the article from Hollywood Reporter is titled, "Netflix Suspends Trans Employee Who Spoke Out Against Chappelle's Special Over Attending Meeting Without Permission." Now, that's kind of common sense. If you're not invited to a work meeting, if you're not invited to it, you can't just go. Like, if Susan, okay, is having a YouTube meeting, I can't just show up and say, I'm here, let's talk. It's kind of common sense that, like, you go to meetings you're invited to, and you don't go to meetings you're not invited to. Common sense. Who cares about that these days, am I right? In the article, The Hollywood Reporter's Alex Werpin claims a source said that the employees, including an engineer whose Twitter thread about the special went viral, were suspended for attempting to join a quarterly meeting meant only for directors or vice presidents and not because of Field's tweets. Of course, this whole situation is being kind of misrepresented. They basically went on social media and complained that they, were suspended unfairly for voicing thoughts on Chappelle, when that's not the case. It's because they went to a meeting they weren't supposed to go to. And then they use that as like evidence and as fire starter, basically. It says, Field began the thread writing, "I work at Netflix. Yesterday we launched another Chappelle special where he attacks the trans community and the very validity of transness, all while trying to pit us against other marginalized groups. You're going to hear a lot of talk about offense. We are not offended. Being trans is actually pretty funny. If you're someone who actually knows about the subject matter, how could volunteering for a second puberty not be funny? That isn't what he's doing, though. Our existence is funny to him, and we object to his harm. We're offended. The problem is that people are responding to something we never said. We aren't complaining about being offended and we don't have thin skin. You try going to a pharmacy and having them call you sir in front of everyone while you pick up your medications. Thin skin." Now, as you can see, this individual is clearly very upset. Now, I said this in my video about Chappelle, and I'll say it again. Dave Chappelle is one of the only comedians. He's one of the only comedians that exists anymore that actually isn't afraid to make jokes like this. Everyone is afraid of a situation like this happening. He's been trending on social media for days. There's thousands of people calling for him to be canceled, tons of people calling for him to be fired, calling for Netflix to not work with him anymore. And a lot of comedians are very afraid of being canceled, of losing their careers. And I don't blame anyone for watching out for their futures, being worried about being canceled. But at the same time, Dave Chappelle is one of the only people who makes offensive jokes anymore. And there are a lot of people out there who like offensive jokes, who like jokes that maybe you shouldn't say, people are definitely going to look down upon. But that's his brand, okay? When you look at Dave Chappelle and you look at his comedy, you look at his humor and his specials, you don't see someone making jokes about soccer moms and about, oh, you know, I went to a bar and blah, 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 and telling those lame, funny stories, okay? There are a lot of comedians out there who do that for a living that people really like, but we're not talking about that in this case. We're talking about Dave Chappelle, someone who goes after every group of people that he can. It's just his brand. It's the type of comedy he does, and clearly it's very successful, and people like it because his shows are always sold out. He is always getting full audiences. He trends on social media a lot. His specials get number 1, number 2, number 3 on Netflix when they launch. I mean, The Closer has been in the top 10 of Netflix since it launched. So clearly, a lot of people like this comedy still. And I understand it's not for everyone, but if it's not for you, you don't have to watch it. It's just a comedy special, okay? There's the logic out there, like Melissa McCarthy said, if you don't like it, don't watch it. In this case, if you don't like it, don't watch it. Go on social media, say you think Dave Chappelle is a fucking asshole, and move on. Okay, it's as simple as that. Don't call for people's careers to be ruined. Don't call for them to be fired, canceled, you know, blacklisted from an industry. He made fun of literally anyone that he could in this special, and like his other specials, it's just his brand of comedy. And if you didn't, my thing here is that these people are complaining about Dave Chappelle, right? And the trans jokes that he made and the comedy that he made. Did they not know who Dave Chappelle was? And a lot of them who did know who Dave Chappelle was, why did you watch the special when he has 5 other specials out? If you didn't like the 5 others, why would you watch this one? Just to complain about it? It seems kind of dumb in my opinion. It says, a memo from Netflix's CEO is also included in the article. The memo declares that Chappelle's special does not meet the company's definition of hate. He wrote, several of you have also asked where we draw the line on hate. We don't allow titles on Netflix that are designed to incite hate or violence, and we don't believe The Closer crosses that line. I agree. I don't think that it crosses that line either. Are there offensive jokes in it? Yes. Are there jokes in it that a lot of people aren't going to like? Yes, of course. But that doesn't mean that he's inciting hate, inciting violence. He's calling for people to do things. It says, it was added, I recognize, however, that distinguishing between commentary and harm is hard, especially with stand-up comedy, which exists to push boundaries. Of course, though, in 2021, comedy that pushes the boundaries isn't really allowed anymore for reasons like this. It says some people find the art of stand-up to be mean-spirited, but our members enjoy it, and that's an important part of our content offerings. Why would Netflix look at this situation, right, and say, this special has been in our top 10 since the day it launched? Why would they take it off? Okay, look at the cutie situation. Netflix didn't, you know, remove cuties, hide cuties, delete cuties off the internet. So why would they hide off Dave Chappelle? And Dave Chappelle has fought back against these people. A lot of Dave Chappelle supporters also have said the same things. It's comedy. It is what it is. If you don't like it, you don't watch it. And even Dave Chappelle is saying the same thing. It says, with this information included in the article, Midnight's Edge host responded to Cruz stating, way to bury the facts that they burst into a meeting unannounced. I'm sure that they had lodged their complaints properly. This wouldn't be the case. A lot of people saying things like this, maybe they shouldn't have went to a meeting they weren't invited to or they aren't allowed at, and the situation wouldn't have happened. That's all that I really have to discuss with this whole Star Trek Discovery situation. I think that this is absolutely ridiculous. I truly do. I do not think that making jokes, mean-spirited or not, is calling for hate or calling for violence. And I definitely do not think that Dave Chappelle and his comedy special are responsible for violence. He got up on a stage, he made a couple of jokes. That's all he did. He didn't call for, you know, movements, action. He didn't call for any of that. But anyway, that's all that I really had to discuss with that topic. We'll move into the next one in just a minute, which is going to be... DC. It's definitely an interesting situation. Let's just put it that way. Star Trek Discovery needs to generate buzz. I mean, it's true. I mean, maybe he's just coming out and attacking Chappelle because he knows it's gonna draw a lot of attention to him in the platform he has, in the show that he's on. Wouldn't surprise me. We see it happen a lot. Yeah, I mean, they didn't remove cuties. They said, okay, you know, you're allowed to have your own feedback about it, and they kept it up. So why would they remove Dave Chappelle making jokes if they didn't remove cuties? I mean, that's the way that it is. Yeah, there's a lot of different actors, actresses that are attacking Chappelle and just attacking the situation in general. Yeah. Oh, listen. DC. Okay. DC is a company that a lot of people know. And I know that there's a lot of DC fans out there. I know that there's a lot of DC fangirls and fanboys out there. I don't hate DC myself, but DC is one of the companies that just keeps making bad decision after bad decision. Thank you, Kat, for becoming a Bronze Titan. Much appreciated. Thank you, thank you. Welcome to the Dark Titans. Let me scroll up really quickly. Oh, I wonder if Star Trek Strange New Worlds will be worth watching. I wonder the same thing. I obviously haven't seen it early, so we're gonna have to wait and see what happens with it. I mean, obviously, I say this with every franchise that I talk about that ends up being ruined or fucked up. I don't want this content to come out and be bad. I don't. I would love for Star Trek to be amazing right now, Doctor Who to be amazing, Star Wars to be amazing. I'd love everything to be amazing and fantastic and great and perfect and awesome. Unfortunately, that's not the case, and that's not what happens. And with Strange New Worlds, it's probably also not going to happen. But I'm going to give it a chance, like I give most content a chance. Jim Carrey playing Jim Carrey. I like Jim Carrey. Have you ever seen him in that movie where he plays Jim Carrey? Let me scroll up a little bit. Susan doesn't like her meetings being interrupted. YouTubers are kingdom. I mean, it's actually true, though. I mean, come on. Who wants their meetings being interrupted? Especially by Karens. Who would want that? Who would want that? No, I guess it is the way it is. Did you guys hear that Squid Games is officially Netflix's biggest series launch ever at 111 million views? It's not their biggest series of all time, because it would have to beat out Bridgerton, which it hasn't beat out Bridgerton yet, but it's their biggest launch of all time. Squid Games was good. I guess it's not a hot take. I feel like there's a lot of people that don't like it, either, but I liked Squid Games. Squid Games was pretty decent, not gonna lie. You know, when it comes to Superman and Lois, I do worry about it, because they definitely could shove specific narratives into it, for sure. I'm not going to make a lot of guesses about it, just because we saw season 1. Season 1 was pretty good. Hopefully, the next seasons will be good as well. But there's definitely a lot of things to be worried about. Let me find the official description of Star Trek New Worlds for you. It's about Captain Pike. Star Trek Strange New Worlds. Okay, I guess this is the only description. Captain Pike, Science Officer Spock, and Number 1 explore new worlds around the galaxy on the USS Enterprise. I was thinking maybe there's going to be a little bit more of a description, but haha. There's not. It's just another Star Trek show, meaning we're going to have Discovery, Lower Decks, New Worlds, Picard. We're going to have 4 Star Trek shows going at once. Also, 69 viewers, welcome in. Give this stream a like. Consider becoming a Dark Titan via memberships. Donate, but give the stream a like. Put emotes in chat. Thanks for being here. Season 1 was great, but yeah, the woke police are on the way. I do think that season 1 of Superman and Lois was pretty good. I do think that it was pretty good. There was a twist. I'm not going to spoil it, but the twist at the end, I didn't think it was bad. Squid Games feels like another Saw. Do you want to play a game? I don't know. I don't like Saw. Listen. Maybe that's a hot take. I'm not a huge fan of Saw, but I thought that Squid Games it was a little different, okay? I thought that it was pretty good. The twist, okay? You could see the twist coming from a mile away. I'm blind, okay? If I took my glasses off, I could still see the twist a mile away. But it wasn't bad. At least I didn't think so. I figured they'd make bisexual Superman as an alternate universe version in before Lex Luthor romance. Oh, sheesh. Yeah, that's exactly what everyone wants, isn't it? I mean, you could be a DC writer. I mean, you've got the right idea. You have got the right idea, my friend. If I sponsor, do I become an elite gamer like you, Vera? Listen, I can only lend out so much of my awesome gamerness. So unfortunately, no. I can put you on the waiting list if you'd like. And, you know, I'm booking out till 2024. But maybe then. Alright, guys. Let's move into the next topic of the evening, which is going to be Superman. Now, I'm sure a lot of you have heard about this brand new Superman situation. I'm sure a lot of you already have a lot of thoughts on it. But I don't want to talk about just the new DC Comics gay Superman situation. I also want to talk about Dean Cain a little bit. So, this is a Cosmic Book News article. DC Comics finally comes out and confirms Superman will be gay in the comics. John Kent finds his identity in Superman Son of Kal-El #5 states the official announcement, which follows former DC Comics and Green Lantern artist Ethan Van Sciver first revealing the news a couple of months ago. Ethan Van Sciver, I just want to say this really quick, has been pretty on point when it comes to his guesses and a lot of his predictions and a lot of the rumors that he talks about. He's been pretty on point with them. Just saying. I usually take rumors with a grain of salt. I really do. Even from coming, from someone like EBS. But he's been right about a lot of stuff when it comes to DC. It says the press release, which can be read below, includes art of Superman kissing Jay Nakamura, adds Earth's new Superman comes out as bisexual. In the comics, John Kent is the son of Superman, Clark Kent, and Lois Lane. And then, of course, it shows this art. It says on November 9th, the life of John Kent, the Superman of Earth and son of Clark Kent and Lois, takes a bold new direction. I've always said everyone needs heroes and everyone deserves to see themselves in their heroes, and I'm very grateful DC and Warner Brothers share this idea, said the writer Tom Taylor. Superman's symbol has always stood for hope, for truth, and for justice. Today, that symbol represents something more. Today, more people can see themselves in the most powerful superheroes in comics. Just like his father before him, John Kent has fallen for a reporter. Oh, brother. They couldn't even go for something unique? They literally just copy and pasted Clark and Lois, and just, instead of it being a girl, it was a guy. Just like his father before him, John Kent has fallen for a reporter. Oh boy, who could have seen that coming? After initially striking up a friendship with the reporter, he and John become romantically involved in the pages of Superman Son of Kal-El from writer Tom Taylor and artist John Timms. Following a scene where Superman mentally and physically burns out from trying to save everyone that he can, Jay is there to care for the Man of Steel. Now, I'm perfectly fine in entertainment with seeing LGBTQ characters. I'm fine with seeing lesbian characters, gay characters, bisexual characters. I have no problem with that, but clearly, a lot of people have a problem with this. It's because they're doing this for a specific reason. They're not doing this and making these characters LGBTQ because they feel like it's a good story. They're doing this because they think it's going to make them more money. And they think it's going to make them uncancelable because, oh, they promote so much diversity and so much inclusivity, and they're so thoughtful, and they're thinking about 2021 and what's relevant to the current day. They announced this, okay, on a very specific day, on National Coming Out Day. They had the art ready to go. They had their social media posts ready to go. Clearly, they didn't do this because they felt that it was natural. They didn't just do it. I say this all the time for movies, for shows, for video games. If you want to make a character bisexual, gay, just do it. Like, you don't have to announce to the world, hey guys, listen, we did it. Okay, we're so thoughtful and great. Pat us on the back and buy our product. We did this. Just do it. Just create a good product, release it, and that's it. It's pandering. They knew that they wanted to have some kind of big announcement for National Coming Out Day, and this is what they did. And, instead of giving them new, unique characteristics, it turns them into a token. Like in Umbrella Academy. I don't know how many of you have seen Umbrella Academy, but Klaus, who's a gay character, was fine. It was cool in the first season. Like, it seemed natural. It fit with his persona, and it was like, oh, okay, yeah, that's fine. That's the way it goes. The writing was good here. But in season 2, they pushed it into the plot and put a spotlight on it instead of it just being like a descriptor. It became part of the plot. They just had to jam a he's gay plot into it, which, of course, a lot of people dislike. They kind of roped everyone in with season 1 because they, didn't push a lot of woke into it. A lot of people really liked season 1 because of that, but then they went all out with season 2. They soured the show with woke topics. It just makes you wonder what else they're going to do to these characters, what else they're going to do to stories, to shows, to comic books. And again, it wasn't a bad season or a bad show in general, don't get me wrong, but it really makes you wonder what's gonna be in the 3rd season and what else they're gonna do and throw in your face. But I wanted to quickly read off Dean Cain's statement on this whole situation. It says, Dean Cain slams Superman coming out as bisexual. It isn't bold or brave. A lot of people have been saying this for years now. So, we're just seeing someone else say it. But because he does have ties, of course, to Superman, because he played Superman, I thought it was very interesting. It says, former Superman actor Dean Cain has criticized DC Comics' decision to have the current Superman come out as bisexual. They said it's a bold new direction. I say they're bandwagoning. We have all been saying this for so freaking long. The 55-year-old actor told Fox and Friends on Tuesday, Robin just came out as bi. Who's really shocked about that one? The new Captain America is gay. My daughter in the CW series Supergirl, where I played the father, was gay. So I don't think that it's bold or brave or some crazy new direction. If they had done this 20 years ago, perhaps it would have been bold or brave. And I kind of agree. I think that if they had done something like this 20 years ago, 25 years ago, okay, it would be very different. A lot of people would feel differently about it. But now it's 2021, and so many characters are being changed around and twisted to push specific narratives, to be specific things. Plots are being changed around for specific reasons. And I think that it's not viewed by a lot of people as being bold or brave or being diverse and inclusive. It's viewed as bandwagoning and pandering, and that's not what these companies should want. It says brave would have been him fighting for the rights of gay people in Iran, where they'll throw you off a building for the offense of being gay. They're talking about having him fight climate change and the deportation of refugees, and he's dating a hacktivist, whatever a hacktivist is. I'm sorry, guys, this is not a funny topic. This is a very serious topic, okay? DC is clearly being very diverse and inclusive here. Why don't they have him fight the injustices that created the refugees whose deportation he's protesting? That would be brave. I'd read that. Well, I think there are people that would read that. Again, I feel like a lot of people wouldn't read that because a lot of people just want entertainment. And that, again, is getting into the realm of pushing a narrative and trying to represent something. But I understand where he's going with it. It says, or fighting for the rights of women to attend school and have the ability to work and live, and boys not be, of course, traumatized by men under the new warm and fuzzy Taliban. He does make some good points here. Because, we're talking about characters now that are just fighting injustices that I don't want to say people don't care about, but like fighting climate change. Guys, I mean, that's the best they can do with Superman now is have him fight climate change. I mean, I'm sorry, that doesn't sound very amazing to a lot of people. For me, it doesn't sound that amazing. It says DC Comics' current Superman is a 17-year-old John Kent, son of Clark Kent, and he comes out as bisexual. He has taken up the mantle of Superman of Earth while his father is off-world in the Action comic series like I just read. So that's all that he really says, and that's all I'm going to read from this, but he's not very impressed with this whole Superman coming out as bisexual, and a lot of people aren't either. This isn't Clark Kent, they're not changing Clark Kent's story. If they were, I think a lot more people would be very upset, but a lot of people are just disappointed to see them taking a character, doing something specific with it. Oh, of course, they just had to use Clark Kent's son, as an image to promote National Coming Out Day, and now they're doing the story that a lot of people didn't ask for. Again, I'm perfectly fine with seeing LGBTQ representation in shows and movies, but if you're gonna do it, just do it. You don't have to announce to the world, hey, look, I'm doing all these things because we're so diverse and inclusive. But that's all that I really had to discuss with that topic, and we're gonna move into the final one in just a minute about Far Cry 6. And, Far Cry 6's cockfights. Listen, I'm not looking to get sound clipped here. I'm really, really not. But journalists are trying to find literally anything they can to attack this game because it doesn't push the narratives they want. Or it doesn't push the narratives they want hard enough. They're trying, guys. They really, really are. They're trying to find things to grasp onto and to be upset with. And now it's about a cockfight minigame. I guess it's 2021, so I'm truly not surprised. Aren't you guys ready? Aren't you guys ready? I haven't played Far Cry 6 yet. I did get it. I do have it. I have not played it yet. I don't think I'm going to be streaming it. I've heard a lot of very mixed things on Far Cry 6, though, because there's a lot of people that are game journalists that don't like it, because, of course, it doesn't push enough political opinions for them. I've seen a lot of people say it's got some problems, some technical problems, and that's why they aren't a huge fan of it. I've seen some people say, you know, it could be a lot different than the previous iterations. But now journalists are complaining about a minigame that takes up like 2% of the game. Like 2% of the experience that you have. Not even. Far Cry 6 is a good game. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are enjoying it so far, which is great. If you purchased it, good for you. If you're enjoying it, that's awesome. That's cool. Power to you. I have it. I have not played it yet, though. Gaming journalists. Yup. Guys, listen, I didn't want to admit, but I have to tell you all a secret. I have to tell you all a secret. I'm gonna be a game journalist. My name, I can't tell you what it is yet, but soon I'm gonna be a game journalist. How about that? That'll make me respected in the gaming industry, right? Complaining about politics not being good enough in games, not even having to play a fucking game. That's why I couldn't be a game journalist, because I actually play games. Maybe there's a couple journalists that are still out there that are really, really good. Well, game journalists that are still really, really good that actually play games. But I feel like most of them don't anymore. They are aware that the roosters in this game are not real, right? Can't tell them that. You have to get your Freedom phone first. True. Whatever. What? I haven't heard about the Freedom phone in like a month. What happened? Where is it? Where's my flip phone? Freedom phone. I'm ready. I'm ready to experience true freedom on an item that was made in China. Where? Completely uncensored. Okay, buddy. Listen. Okay, buddy. Guys, I'm supposed to buy a phone from this guy? I mean, I'm sorry, but he looks like he walked into a Walmart and someone told him you have 5 minutes to pick out an outfit. I said this the last time. Due to overwhelming demand, new orders will ship in November 2021. Ooh. Guys, a month away? I can do it. $4.99. Preloaded apps. Ah, yes. Preloaded apps to take your data. Wonderful. I'm getting me 12 of them. I'm gonna create a Freedom Phone circle around me and summon the ultimate Freedom Phone. I feel cheated and lied to. You weren't one already? A game journalist? I don't know. Am I a game journalist? God, I hope not. Project Eve. I see it on the right. You're right. Project Eve looks absolutely wild in the best kind of way. I bet that was the same type of journalist that was complaining about the main character being too sexualized. You know, I just don't understand why pretty women can't exist anymore. And we're not even talking about real women here. We're talking about fictional characters in a video game. We're not even talking about real women here. Okay, what does it matter if a character in a video game is wearing a skimpy, scantily clad suit of armor? What does it matter? Even so, there's real women that wear next to nothing all the time. Oh, TNN. Listen, let's not get started with that. He did get a burner phone. The Freedom BlackBerry. By creating a not a semicircle, by creating a full circle around me with Freedom phones, I can summon the Freedom TARDIS. But that. Your dignity would have to go in order to be a game journalist. There's like 5 game journalists out there that are real at this point. The other ones, they're journalists like this. All right, guys, let's get into the final article of the evening. And this is going to be a quick one because I think that I am going to be making a video about this topic tomorrow. But Far Cry 6 has been causing a lot of outrage over the past few weeks, mainly because Far Cry 6 is a game that could easily, it seems like, push a lot of narratives and push political opinions in players' faces. But they decided to not go in that direction. And game journalists have been very furious that they decided to not go all out with making political statements in their game. And now, there are game journalists that are trying to grasp at anything to cancel this game, to cancel these developers, to cancel the company behind it. And now, they're complaining about a mini game in this title that takes up 0.5% of your experience because Far Cry 6's cockfighting is gross and we should care more about it. Cockfighting shouldn't be in a AAA game in 2021 and I shouldn't have to explain why. I'd like to start off this conversation with a nice disclaimer, guys. We're talking about a video game here. Fictional animals, fictional people. We're not talking about someone real here. I'd just like to put that out there. It says Far Cry 6 seems to be the most Far Cry game ever to Far Cry. What a banger way to start off an article. While it does appear to lean in harder to the political undertones of the series, casting you as a guerrilla fighter taking on a tyrannical regime on the island of Yara, a place visually inspired by Cuba with a fantasy feeling taken from the Cuban uprising, but with the political commentary supposed to be wider and less focused on Cuba specifically. Personally, I think it feels a little gross to use a pastiche of a very real socialist uprising than try to distance your game from the specific politics of that movement for something more watered down and safe, but I get it. Right off the bat. Right off the bat. They aren't even talking about what the article is about. They start talking about the politics. They feel like it's a little gross to use a very real socialist uprising as a way to market your game, but then water it down and try to play it safe. They're already complaining. They say politics are complicated. Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. Why do you think they didn't want to go all out with political statements in the game? It says what I get less is the insistence on wedging the wacky Far Cry-ness into a story that wants to be taken seriously. Because they wanted to add in funny systems, and that should be allowed. It says, regardless of where you stand on that admittedly controversial issue, though, there's one thing we should probably all have already been on agreement on. Cockfighting is fucking gross. Chicken fighting, guys. I'm just gonna call it rooster fighting. How about that? Far Cry 6 has a few tonally awkward elements I have already written about prior to launch. The DLC linking up with Stranger Things and Danny Trejo's taco truck, for example, or how the cute and silly dog is an unnecessary distraction from the staunch political stance the game wishes to take. But, rooster fighting is not totally awkward. It's not something that just doesn't fit with Far Cry's big ideas or makes it hard to believe the sincerity with which the game claims to treat its story. It's just, again, fucking gross. Guys, this game is a game where you have guns and you shoot people. 90% of this game is violence. Yet they're complaining about a mini game. About fucking chickens. Or they'd like to think that that's what this article's supposed to be about. Because as you can see, all they've done so far is complain about politics. It says, I don't feel like I should have to expand on that or come up with alternate ways of phrasing it. It's making animals fight each other in bloody, brutal combat for sport. I mean, unfortunately, this does happen. This did happen. But we're not talking about real animals here. We're not talking about actual footage of this happening with real animals. They're fictional animals, okay? By this fucking logic, okay, you should be canceling Pokemon. You should be canceling Animal Crossing. You should be canceling Pikmin, anything that has to do with animals or creatures fighting each other. Even if it's cute and it's supposed to be upbeat, like Animal Crossing. You literally catch a butterfly and stick it in a glass frame, okay? You catch a fish and you eat it. You catch a fish out in the ocean just to put it in a tiny little tank to show off as a trophy. Guys, we gotta get PETA on this, okay? We're not talking about real animals here. It says there's a full Tekken-style fighting minigame where you take control of one rooster and try to claw and peck your opponents to death as he shrieks in agony, bloody feathers aflutter. Again, this game has guns and you shoot people. Oh, yeah, it's okay. We're just shooting humans. But animals, we can't have that. I think that this is absolutely ridiculous because clearly this article draws you in with one topic. Then half of the contents of this article is about how they hate the game because it doesn't push a political agenda enough. And then they're like, oh yeah, but there's like this other system that we don't really like. It says, I am not a vegan. Good for you. I try to incorporate more vegan substitutes into my diet, both for environmental and ethical reasons, but I understand that I still eat meat, and some of those animals that meat comes from were probably treated poorly. There is no ethical consumption under capitalism. Oh, brother. But cockfighting is not the same. The ways to change the ways animals in the meat industry are treated is to go vegan where possible, pressure companies into ethical treatment, and look for organic, free-range, cruelty-free products. The ways to change the cockfighting industry is simple, just don't do cockfighting. Listen, I love animals, okay? I fucking love animals. Do not get me wrong, okay? But I'm not sitting here trying to cancel a company and cancel a game and send activists after this company because they have a mini game that you're probably literally gonna play twice and never play again. I don't understand. Why would you call for outrage over that? It says it's not even, as some equestrian lovers like to claim it's their own sport, a way to bond with the animal or give it purpose. It's cruelty in its basest form. That it's in the game is bad enough, excuse me. It feels like someone Googled Latin culture and pulled out the 5 coolest things and stuck them into a PowerPoint all about Yara. But to not be just glorified as a minigame, not just one you witness, but you actively participate in by, of course, ripping the animals to shreds, it feels disgusting even for a video game. Again, a point here is that this is a video game. And they're not real animals. You're not actually hurting an animal while you do this minigame. And it's a minigame you're probably going to play twice. As Rover said, cancel Duck Hunt. Cancel Pokemon. Cancel Animal Crossing. If we're going to start calling for outrage and boycotts of companies because of something like this, you've got to call it for all of them. And I highly, highly doubt that this person is sitting complaining about every single instance of animal cruelty that's in a game, or anything where you catch an animal, you make animals fight, etc. But that's all that I had to talk about in this. The chickens don't die in the minigame. Yeah, I mentioned that, but the chickens don't even die. So, let's just complain for no reason. That's all that I had to talk about in tonight's stream, guys. I talked about Far Cry 6, I talked about Dean Cain and DC Comics, I talked about Star Trek and Dave Chappelle, and I also talked about Ghostbusters 2016. I'm not ending the stream yet, though. If you guys have any questions or topics you'd like me to discuss, please feel free to put them into the chat now. I'd be happy to answer anything you guys might have to ask. And I'm just going to hang around for a little bit. So if you guys have any other topics, feel free to let me know. Tomorrow evening, I will be streaming again at 8 p.m. Eastern, and I'll be finishing Alan Wake tomorrow evening, which is super exciting. Alan Wake has been a really, really good game so far. I've really, really enjoyed it. And I'm also excited to finish it because that means we get to other Halloween-themed games over the next couple of weeks. Probably tomorrow or the next day, I will be announcing the rest of them, but there's a lot on the way. I'm going to be playing some classics, a lot of games you guys have suggested, maybe a little Outlast, Evil Within, maybe Fatal Frame 1. Exciting, exciting. I was considering a Haunting Ground. I was also considering what's the other? Gungrave. And I was considering like one other. I have a bunch on the list though. Better cancel Thundercats. We gotta cancel everything at this point. Literally everything has to be canceled to please these types of people now. It's just the way that it is. Yeah. To be fair, if Far Cry 6 had dogfighting, I think a lot more people would be upset by this, including me. I don't care if it's just a video game. Dogfighting shouldn't be depicted unless it's warplanes. I don't know. I think a lot of people would still say it's just a game. And yeah, there would definitely be some more people that would be upset because we're talking about an animal that a lot of people have. A lot of people have dogs, cats, you know, those types of animals. But I still think that a lot of people would be like, it's still just a game. But I think it would probably get a little bit more attention if it was like dogfighting, probably. What's the meaning of virtual life? I don't know, to live? I don't know. I don't have the answers to everything. I wouldn't care it's a video game. Yeah, I think that there would be people that would be upset, but I also think a lot of people would just kind of still be like, it's a video game. 42? It is. That's true. That is the answer to the universe. The answer to everything. I don't know what that means, Nigma. Have you think the new Ghostbusters? I have not think about the new Ghostbusters, no. So when do these actually start? I stream at 8 p.m. Eastern on Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, Sundays. Sometimes those days do change, but whenever I stream, it's almost always at 8 p.m. Eastern. So I'm not sure what time zone you're in, but yeah, that's the time zone I'm in. That's why I usually start around that time, which is, what, 5 Central? Something like that? Cancel the games where animals are harmed. I don't want to, you know, I agree. I don't want to, you know, constantly see animals being hurt in a game. Like, I don't want to play a game that's all about hurting animals. Like, and I'm not talking about, like, a Pokemon where it's, like, cute little battles and they just faint. But we're talking about a mini game where the animals do not even die. And you only have to play it, like, once if you want to. Hashtag Britney's free. Britney's not fully free yet. Okay? I think her social media is still not hers. She's been posting some weird shit online. Like, they seem to be older videos. So I think her social media isn't actually her. What do I know, though? I've just got a tinfoil hat on. I don't actually have real answers to anything. Yeah, guys, I don't know. It's rough because I do understand. Oh, I just clicked something. Oh, no. I just hit my mouse on my stream deck. Oh, I was... Oh, whoops, haha. I accidentally pressed open Rogue Company. That's not what I meant to click. That's not what I meant to click. I do understand that there are going to be people that are going to be like, oh my gosh, it's animals fighting, that's so cruel. But it's a video game. Do you really want to call for censoring a video game and trying to cancel companies over something like a chicken fight in a game? Because I wouldn't. Oh no. Listen, Rogue Company. Maybe close. I can't even close it yet. Oh, brother. Listen, guys, I didn't mean to click Rogue Company. Good game, though. I like Rogue Company, don't get me wrong. I haven't played in a while. Queued for login. You're currently in line to login. Oh, look at all this stuff I got. For not even playing. Oh my goodness. That's nice. Nice to see you. Bye-bye. Hello? There we go. It's fixed now. My understanding was she won in court. I bet you're right about her social media, though. So, yes. The judge did accept her father's, what's it called? Like, his request to, like, be taken off the conservatorship. And he did get taken off the conservatorship. That did go through successfully. But, again, that doesn't mean that, you know, she's free and clear of everything. I mean, it's a step. And, hey, a step is a fucking step. Good for her. But it just seems very suspicious. Guys, if you're enjoying the live stream, give it a like. If you're not, give it a dislike. We need one more like to hit 100 likes on the stream. If you're enjoying, consider donating via Streamlabs. All donos pop up. $3 or more text-to-speech activates. Consider becoming a member of the channel. You get access to shiny special emotes. All the support does help, and thanks for being here. Cockfighting is also cultural. That's kind of the point of Far Cry 6, being a part of the culture and its vices. It's not about it being right or wrong. I do agree with that viewpoint. I do. I think that it does definitely highlight a lot of things that people don't see as negative. I mean, don't see as positive, and a lot of things that people see as negative. But it's supposed to give you an atmosphere, and it's supposed to give you a specific, yeah, just like a vibe, just like an atmosphere. It's supposed to make you feel like you're part of that culture, and you know, they felt that that would be a good addition, and they went with that. Cancel culture is exhausting. Very true, Kaylee. Very true. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. You guys are... Sheesh. Look at this chat, though. Everyone's arguing. A rooster is a male chicken. Yes. A rooster is a male chicken. Game stream now, just roll with it. Yeah, on my stream deck, I have a couple different games. I have Star Wars The Old Republic, Black Desert, Apex, New World, Rogue Company. I haven't played Rogue Company in a while, though. I could play it again soon. I've mainly just been playing Apex and New World. Great games, though. Great games. Don't get me wrong. I do think that they're really good. But guys, if you have any last-minute questions or topics you'd like me to discuss, feel free to leave them in chat. I am going to wrap up the stream in just a few, but not quite yet. So yeah, if you guys have any topics, feel free to leave them. And I'll try to answer them to the best of my ability. Rover spamming those emotes. I really like the new emotes. I think that the new emotes look really good. Well, I think all the emotes look really good, obviously. But I think that my favorite... I feel like my favorite out of all of them is probably the loot one. I love the loot one, but Sheesh is also amazing. It really, really is. But tomorrow evening at 8 p.m. Eastern, I will be continuing and finishing Alan Wake on stream. Like I had said, I'm really excited to continue playing it. I think it's been a great stream game and a great Halloween game thus far, and I've been really excited to be able to finish it. And I'm hoping that it's going to wrap up and it's going to be great. That's it. Boom. That's it. Thank you, Rover, for the $50 donation. I guess it is text-to-speech. Much appreciated. Thank you, thank you. The article borders on a writer desperate for clicks. Yeah, I mean, listen, I don't know who this is. What has Stacey Henley written lately? I'm not here to trash Stacey Henley. I'm just here to see what else Stacey Henley has written lately. This week in FIFA 22. Okay, who cares? It's good that Pokemon Legends Arceus isn't fully open world. I don't know. I feel like open world is usually a pretty good thing. Farcry should have never been political in the first place. Oh, brother. It's kind of weird how much Squid Game hates women. I'm gonna assume... Yup. What a shrimp. They're saying that the actress in Squid Games is someone who they like, and of course that character dies, so that's why Squid Games hates women, because they must hate women because they killed off my favorite female character. I mean... Oh, brother! So are we actually gonna cast Brie Larson as Samus or what? I can't. Listen, Stacey Henley. Some of your work is not the finest work I've ever seen. Squid Games hates women, apparently. Thank you, Christopher, for the $10 donation.
How about a bad dad joke stream?
Leave your bad dad joke in chat. Or in text-to-speech, and I'll listen to it before we end stream. A whole stream of it? Can't do that. Having one a stream? Acceptable. Dad jokes are funny. But a whole stream? I don't know about that. Any favorite comedians? No, I don't really have any favorite comedians. I don't do a lot of favorites when it comes to, like, comedians and actors. So not really. I primarily post messages to Vera in case you haven't noticed. Yeah, and that's fine. I mean, you're allowed to, but when you're posting things in chat, people are also allowed to respond to them. That's the way that it goes. Especially when you start going back and forth with members, and then you say, oh no, the messages are just for Vera. Well, I mean, people are allowed to respond to them. No better person to play Samus than Brie. No. No, that's not who we should be saying will be amazing as Samus, okay? It's just not it. Brie Larson is just not a good actress. She's got one face and one expression and one emotion, and it's just not amazing. It truly isn't. I guess it is what it is, though. But, I truly hope that Brie Larson never gets to play Samus. She is allowed to go out and have as many roles in Hollywood as she wants. I'm not calling for Brie Larson to be canceled, okay? But, alright, don't fucking cast her as Samus. If they ever did that, I swear to the good Lord, I'm gonna have a heart attack. Because that is not what we need. Okay, video game movies, some of them have been good, and others have just been absolute disasters. And that would just make for an absolute disaster. Straight off the bat. Brie is my favorite. You bigots need to watch out. She's an Oscar winner. Okay, Christopher, listen. I know you're just trolling, but you sounded pretty... That sounded pretty real there, okay? You better be careful, or else someone's gonna think that you're being serious. Guess it is what it is. But alright, you guys. I am going to end the live stream here. Thank you all so much for stopping by tonight. I do really appreciate it. We talked about some great topics this evening. We talked about Ghostbusters 2016. We talked about Star Trek Discovery actors attacking Dave Chappelle. We talked about DC Comics and Dean Cain. And we also talked about Far Cry 6. Please remember in chat to, you know, not insult each other. Looking at Rod. And not insult, moderators. And accuse them of being things. That's really, really shitty. And, you know, in chat, we try to have a positive atmosphere. Yes, sometimes we talk about controversial topics and people are allowed to disagree, but when you start insulting moderators and saying things like, oh, you're being needy or you seem needy, that's getting into the territory of just making really crappy comments. All right? Be productive. Be nice to each other. Okay? Make good choices. All right? That's it. But guys, I'm gonna end the live stream here. Thank you all so much for stopping by. I do appreciate it. If you enjoyed the live stream, make sure to give it a like. If you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. Consider becoming a Dark Titan of the channel via Patreon for just $1 a month or a supporter via memberships. All of the links are in the description. Check out yesterday's video if you didn't see it. And of course, I will have a new video up tomorrow. Tomorrow evening at 8 p.m. Eastern, I will be here live streaming, finishing Alan Wake, the first horror game of the month for October. But with that being said, thank you for the donations tonight, the support, guys. Be excellent to each other. Be nice to each other. But yeah, thanks for stopping by, and have a fantastic evening, everyone.